For years, people have been encountering cryptids, creatures that have yet to be recognized by science, with some of the most famous ones being that of the Loch Ness monster, Bigfoot, Yeti, and the Mokele mbembe. However, one interesting cryptid is that of the giant spider. For years, people have been coming forward with their strange encounters, and one of these was recently told by a man who was fishing in the Missouri River. A man who called himself L. Smith said he had a strange encounter while fishing in the Missouri River. He claims that while here he suddenly noticed a large hairy creature, and that the animal in question was over 5 feet in length and looked like a spider. He said the following about the encounter. "I'm lucky to go fishing almost every weekend, so I know what kind of animals live around here. I have plenty of experience around the woods and rivers. It was around noon and I sat down for a few minutes to smoke when I started hearing dry leaves moving to the left. I turned my head to where I heard the noise and see a huge long pair of hairy legs grabbing my canteen I just placed there a few seconds ago. It really scared me and I almost swallowed the smoke." End quote. He went on to say that the encounter didn't last long and that he didn't see the creature for very long. The only thing that he remembered was that this creature was large and that it looked like a huge spider, something he'd never seen in this area before. Smith said that after the encounter he decided to go back to the area in the hopes of finding the creature, but said that when he returned he wasn't able to find any evidence of the animal being there, saying that it was frustrating because he was sure about what he just witnessed. He said the annoying thing about having this encounter is that no one believes him when he tells the story. He said though that he knows what he saw, and going from his estimations this creature would have measured in at just over 5 feet. It's interesting to note this is the first known sighting of a giant spider in Missouri. Those who read this story said that what this person encountered could have been the Jabbar Fofi. The Jabbar Fofi, more commonly known as the Congolese giant spider, is that of a large undiscovered species of spider that is reportedly the size of a man, and having survived from larger arachnid species found in ancient prehistoric times well into the modern day. Though large spiders have been reported all across the continent of Africa, it appears that within the Congo there are native tribes known as the Baka that refer to the spider as the Jabbar Fofi, and have reported that the creatures have a leg span of roughly 4 feet. These urban legends were uncovered after a number of African reports began telling of a massive spider infesting different African countries at different times of the year. The reported sightings of such a creature occurred back in the 1890s, when a missionary from England ventured into the country of Uganda and discovered a massive web located near Lake Nyasa. He then writes that as they were looking at the web and getting closer to try to understand what it was given its massive size stretching between 2 larger standing trees, several of his people became trapped. As they began to move in the web sticking to the strings, they claimed spiders with legs longer than 4 feet began to come out and bite into the trapped men, causing the others to run and leave them in fear. Later expeditions in 1938 would lead researchers to consulting with local and native tribes in the Congo that told of the Jabbar Fofi spider, that was believed to have a matching leg span of 4 feet in length, had thousands of eggs described as being the size of a peanut, and would nest nearby tribal villages in efforts to trap birds, large animals and even humans. A few years back this giant spider was captured by tourists in the Dominican Republic. As their tour guide came to a stop, the giant spider came up from the vegetation. What's strange about this is the fact the spider runs towards the tourists. Usually this is a strange behaviour for spiders, but many people who have encountered giant spiders report them doing this. Another person who is from South America had a run-in with a giant spider. They said the following: "While jogging near my home I encountered something huge. I always jog the same route and it means I have to cross from pavement to woodland. While in this woodland I was chased by a large spider. When I first saw it I initially thought it was a stray dog, and this was because when I was running it was dusk and it was hard to see things around me. The forest that I run in though becomes dark very quick. I saw this thing around 20 meters from the path I was on, and as I slowed down to get a better look, I could tell it wasn't a dog but instead a large spider. If I had to guess, I would say it was around 12 to 18 inches wide. As I slowly got closer to get a better look, this thing started scurrying towards me. I was so frightened and got out of there as soon as I could. When I arrived home, I told my husband about what I had seen, and we then went back to the forest to try and find it. However, when we got back to the spot where the spider originally was, there was nothing there. Since that day, I haven't seen the spider since. These creatures seem to be rare, as people who encounter them don't usually witness them again. This has led some to suggest that these spiders are a rare species that are not usually seen by humans. Although these stories sound too good to be true, these giant spiders have been documented for decades. Most of the tales describe the giant spiders digging a shallow tunnel underneath tree roots and camouflaging it with a large bed of leaves. It's then said they create an almost invisible web between their burrow and a nearby tree. Some have even come forward and said they've seen these spiders hunting their prey. So what do you make of these stories of giant spiders? Do you believe that in remote locations on our planet there's a giant species of undiscovered spider? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.